Welcome to Full Time Takes. I'm your host, Kellen, and it's been over a month since the NFL draft and rookie minicamp wrapped up. And I thought there'd be no better time to give you my grades for every single first-round pick in the NFL this season. This will be split into two parts, with this video being picks 1 through 16, and my next being picks 17 through 32. I think that's about all. Without further ado, let's get into it. At pick number 1, the Las Vegas Raiders took Fernando Mendoza, and this gets an A for me. Yes, is he the best quarterback prospect ever? No. Not by any means at all. But he was their guy. The Raiders needed the guy at quarterback, and they got him in Mendoza. The idea of him also not starting immediately, I think makes his pick even better. Please, Vegas, for God's sake, just don't throw this man into the Sharks. Then, at pick number 2, the Jets picked David Bailey, and I'm giving this a C+. Believe me, David Bailey is a great player, but I just don't see that this was the pick for New York. I'm going to use this line a lot throughout this video. When your roster and just organization in general is dysfunctional, you need high floor players. Guys who are going to make an immediate impact. At 14.5 sacks aren't fake. No, Bailey is great, but he doesn't have the high floor of a guy like Arvell Reese. I just don't love this pick. Alright, next up at pick 3, the Cardinals took Jeremiah Love, and I'm giving this a C-. And they're lucky this dude is an incredible player, because this pick was outright terrible. Not the player, but the pick that was terrible, if that makes any sense at all. Back to the high floor player stuff. When your roster has tons of holes, like the Arizona Cardinals, you can't take a running back. I don't care if Barry Sanders and Bo Jackson had a love child. In no world can you justify the Cardinals taking Love at 4. Alright. At pick 4, the Titans took Carnell Tate, and I'll give this a B-. I like the player, but receiver was not on my bingo card for Tennessee. I think it's Sonny Styles or, again, Arvell Reese could have been a little better, but I definitely like getting your number 1 overall pick, another weapon to work with. That you can justify that. Next up, at pick 5, the Giants took Arvell Reese, and this gets an A+ for me. Yes, they do have several edges already, but man, oh man, the value of this pick, don't get me started. I don't think the Giants saw a world where they got him at 5. The value is incredible, and I think he's just a great prospect. This was the start of a great draft for the New York Giants. At pick 6, the Chiefs traded up 3 spots in order to get Mansour Delane, and I'll give this an A-. The Chiefs lost 2 exceptional corners this free agency, and in the one elite corner draft, they got him. Depending on if Steve Spagnuolo decides to play him early, or not, I can see him bringing some good play and youth to the Chiefs defense, which they desperately need. Next up, at pick 7, Sonny Styles fell right into Washington's lap, and I'm giving this an A++. Yep, we're breaking the grading scale for Sonny Styles, because this might have been my favorite pick of the first round. At pick 7, you got an athletic freak at linebacker who didn't miss a tackle in 2025. He brings immediate youth and skill to that old Commanders defense. I love it. Alright. Next up at pick 8, the Saints grabbed Jordan Tyson, and this gets a B from me. I really like the prospect of Jordan Tyson, but the injury concerns are real. I think he has the highest ceiling out of any of the receivers in this class, but again, the injury stuff is real. And I like getting Mr. Vanilla Vic, as they call him down in New Orleans, Tyler Shuck, another weapon. Next up, at pick 9, the Browns took Spencer Fanu, and I give this an A. I really like Mr. Fanu, and the Browns desperately needed offensive line. Do I think he was the best tackle in this class? No. Not at all. But he was their guy. The Browns got their guy, and I don't think you can be upset with that. Next, the Giants again, this time at pick 10, took Francis Mauigoa, and this gets an A+. I love the prospect of Francis, and this is another guy the Giants were happy to see on the board. Protecting their reckless quarterback in Jackson Dart has got to be a priority for them. So overall, just a great pick in my opinion. Alright, next up at pick 11, the Cowboys snagged Caleb Downs after trading up 1 spot, and this gets an A++. Man, the Cowboys somehow managed to get, in my opinion, of course, the player with the highest floor in this class, a guy who's going to make an immediate impact by trading up just 1 spot. At pick 11, great move from Dallas, and the Dolphins once again frustrate me. And speaking of the Dolphins, at pick 12, and this gets my blood boiling, they chose Caden Proctor, and this gets a D-. This pick frustrates me just looking at it. Even as a Bills fan, I don't root for the Dolphins. I understand wanting to build the trenches and all, but when half of your money is going to guys who aren't on the team, you need high floor players. And instead of picking a guy like Caleb Downs, who again is going to make an immediate impact, they chose an overweight offensive lineman with bad fundamentals. I really hope this guy proves me wrong, but I just don't understand this pick at all from Miami. And next up, We're not going to get much better with this pick either. At pick 13, the Rams picked up Ty Simpson, and don't get me started on this one either. I give this like a D+, and I think that's being generous. Having a first-round quarterback to sit behind Stafford, I like that, like a Jordan Love situation. But the Rams were a position in cornerback away from a Super Bowl. And instead of using the 13th pick, an incredibly valuable asset for a team that could have won the Super Bowl on a win-now piece, a piece that's going to help them win the Super Bowl, they chose a quarterback, a guy who's not going to play for 2 years, and is going to sit behind your MVP QB in Matt Stafford. Makes little sense to me. At pick 14, the Ravens grabbed Vega Ione, and I'll give this an A+. Yes, they could have taken an offensive weapon for Lamar, but getting an O-lineman here, I think is just as good. They lost their all-pro caliber center in Tyler Linderbaum this offseason, and now helping the interior O-line with my favorite O-lineman in this draft. Great pick for the Ravens. And then at pick 15, the Buccaneers selected Ruben Bain Jr., and this gets an A for me. Yes, the short arms and the legal stuff as well, it's a concern, but he's still undoubtedly an incredible edge rusher. The Bucs snagged him at 15, and they couldn't be much happier. Just a value pick that will hopefully help them long term. He fell right into their lap. Last but certainly not least, the New York Jets selected Kenyon Sadiq, and I'll give this one a B+. I'll admit it doesn't seem too smart for them to take a tight end after taking one in round 2 last year, but man, is that dude athletic. He is a high floor guy you want to build your offense around with some of the other pieces the Jets have. The Garrett Wilsons, the Breece Halls, and some other guys who took in the draft. And I think with that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in part 2. This is Full Time Takes. I'm your host, Kellen.